Okay, so for science today, we're learning about fish. So we're going to read the story and answer some questions. You can either answer the questions as I go over them, or you could pause the video and answer them on your own. Up to you. So let's get started. Make sure you're following along with your finger or a pencil. So our title is Fish. Fish are a kind of animal. Fish can be found in rivers, lakes, swamps, seas, and oceans. Fish always need water to live. Perch, sunfish, bluegill, salmon, trout, and tuna are some common fish. Fish are vertebrates, so they have backbones. They have scales just like reptiles. Like reptiles and amphibians, fish are cold-blooded. They get warm or cold depending on how hot or cold the water around them is. Fish have special body parts to help them live in water. Fish have gills to breathe air from the water. They do not have hands and feet. Instead, they have lots of fins to help them swim. Many fish also have swim bladders so they don't sink. Okay, so let's do some of our questions now. So number 1, fish have gills to breathe air from the water. Fish have fins to breathe air from the water. Fish have scales to breathe or eyes to breathe. So what do fish have to breathe air from the water? A, gills, B, fins, C, scales, or D, eyes? What do we think? Fish have A, gills, to breathe air from the water. Number 2, which of these is not a place you would find a fish? Swamps, lakes, trees, or rivers? Where do we not find fish? In A, swamps, B, lakes, C, trees, or D, rivers? We do not find fish in C, trees. Number 3, what kind of body covering do fish have? Do they have A, feathers, B, slime, C, scales, or D, fur? What kind of body covering do fish have? Feathers, slime, scales, or fur? Fish have C, scales. Number 4, what word means a body part that helps fish swim? Is it a foot, a wing, leg, or fin? What body part helps fish swim? A fin is a body part that helps fish swim. All fish need water to live. Is this true or false? All fish need water to live. True or false? This is true. All fish do need water to swim. So now we are going to watch a video about fish with some facts on it. Here's a fish video.
Hello friends and welcome to a new happy learning video. Today we're going to learn about the wettest animals on the planet. Presenting the fish. In almost all the places where you can find water, be it either salt water or fresh water, you can also find fish. There are fish of all sorts of sizes, shapes and colors, and yet they all have common characteristics, which you should know. Fish are vertebrates. Their skeleton is made up of bones or cartilage. They are also cold-blooded. Their temperature is not constant, meaning it depends on the water temperature. This fish looks really cold. All fish have extremities in the form of fins, as you can see in this image. Dorsal fins, caudal fins, which is the tail, pectoral fins, pelvic fins, and anal fin. Another really important fact that one must remember is that almost all fish are covered in scales. The gills are the fish's respiratory organ. The respiration process is very interesting. Water enters through the mouth and goes to the gills. The gills then collect the oxygen and distribute it to the rest of the body through the blood vessels. Then the water is expelled through an opening, which can be found in the majority of the fish behind their head, which is called the gill flap. Fish reproduce by laying eggs. Therefore, they are oviparous, and their fertilization can be either external or internal. Some fish are excellent fathers, like this one who protects his babies inside his mouth. He looks as if he's going to eat them, but he's actually protecting them. Look at that! Isn't it amazing? Almost all fish are carnivores, eating other fish smaller than themselves, and therefore they each have different ways of defending themselves. The most common action to take is when feeling threatened is to escape as fast as possible, as in to swim away rapidly. But there are other ways of defending themselves that are much more original. For example, this clownfish finds hiding himself among these venomous enemies. Others imitate or camouflage themselves with their background by obtaining the color and shape of the plants and rocks around them. Can you see this fish in the image? Oh, well, there was indeed a fish, and a very hungry one. Look at this. This is the largest fish in the world, the whale shark. Even though it is called a whale shark, you must remember it is actually a shark, not a whale. Whales are not fish. They are aquatic animals, like these friendly dolphins. So never forget, whales and dolphins are not fish, but mammals. Now I have a very important fact you must always remember. It's extremely important. As you already know, fish, as well as many other animals, live in the water. Water is essential for life, and for this reason, we must look after it. We must protect it. There are people who dirty nature by throwing rubbish into the rivers and oceans without thinking about their terrible consequences they're causing. Plastics and substances which contaminate the water kill a huge amount of fish. Turtles, dolphins, whales, sharks, and many more die every day because of contamination. Water is a source of life. We must take care of it and protect it. So now you know, look after nature and all living things, and they can live happily. Goodbye, friends, until next happy learning video.
Okay, so I hope that gave you some more information on fish. Also, if you are interested in fish, a really good TV show that you could find that talks about fish is Wildcrafts on PBS Kids. They have a whole episode about fish and underwater and in the ocean. It's really interesting. So now I'm going to read you the story, The Rainbow Fish. I thought we'd keep up with the theme for science on fish, and this is actually one of my favorite stories, The Rainbow Fish. So sit back and relax and just listen to the fun story. The rainbow fish was the most beautiful fish in the sea, but he never played with other fish. I'm too beautiful, he thought. Once, a little blue fish asked for one of his shining scales, but the rainbow fish just laughed. Never, he said. After that, the other fish swam away from him. The rainbow fish was all alone. He went to the starfish for help. Why doesn't anybody like me? He asked. Go ask the octopus, said the starfish. She is very wise. The octopus said, Give away your shining scales. You won't be as beautiful, but you will have friends." "I can't do that," cried the rainbow fish. Suddenly the little blue fish was back. "Please," he said, "could I just have one scale?" Well, the rainbow fish thought, maybe just one tiny little scale. The little blue fish was so pleased it made the rainbow fish feel happy. Soon all the fish came, and the rainbow fish gave away his scales one by one. Finally he had only one shining scale left, but now, as he swam off to play with his friends, he was the happiest fish in the sea. The end. I hope you enjoyed our science lesson about fish.